Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Karine Jean-Pierre is getting triggered, and you know what? I don't blame her. I too would probably be crumbling under all the lies, all the fake news scaffolding that continues to collapse above her head. This week, Karine Jean-Pierre tackles the border crisis, and the whole thing, honestly, everything I'm going to show you is a perfect example as to why legacy politicians, corporate Democrats, corporate Republicans, these establishment career politician clowns are simply frickin' useless. Can't do anything, will never get the job done. Let me show you guys exactly what I mean by that. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so Alejandro Mayorkas has been under some serious scrutiny recently. Of course, with good reason. Title 42 is expiring May 11th, and so the southern border is going to be a complete cluster. And now the other day when Karine Jean-Pierre was asked about the border, she was going on and on about just how successful Joe Biden's been on the issue. She made this pitch.
He has tools that he's used to make sure that we do this. We actually deal with the immigration system in a humane way, and in a way that is that actually deals with what we're seeing at the border. And that's why you've seen the parolee program be so successful. It has when it comes to illegal migration, you've seen it come down by more than 90%, and that's because of the actions that this president has taken.
Illegal immigration came down 90%. She's referring specifically to one program, but we'll get into that later. When challenged on that, however, from Fox News' Peter Doocy, Karine kind of snapped.
You said yesterday that when it comes to illegal migration, you've seen it come down by more than 90%. Where did that number come from?
I was speaking.
Is telling us the number is.
I hear you. I'm about to answer.
136,000 people more.
I'm about to answer
this
you.
fiscal year so
if
far.
If the dramatics could come down just a little bit. If the dramatics could come down a little bit.
What's dramatic about asking a question about?
Okay, I'm going to answer. So I was speaking to the parolee program. As you know, the president put in place a parolee program to deal with certain countries on ways that we can limit illegal migration, and we have seen the data has shown us that it has gone down by more than 90%. That was what I was speaking to. No, we're going to go. We're going to move. Go ahead. We're moving, Peter. Let's go.
Karine Jean-Pierre, she's very quickly becoming one of my favorites. You can clearly tell the pressure is mounting. She doesn't like to get challenged. It probably raises her stress levels, but after that completely condescending tone towards Peter Doocy, after playing the victim and pretending as if he was somehow attacking her or making things dramatic, she clarified her statement that she was only talking about the parolee program. Well, even in relation to the parolee program, she got her numbers wrong, and again, it's a scapegoat. Let me show you guys. Karine Jean-Pierre ripped after claiming that the parolee program decreased illegal immigration by 90%. The program, instituted in October for Venezuelans and extended to residents of 3 other countries in January, has allowed 30,000 asylum seekers who followed the legal application process to be admitted to the U.S. each month. Migrants from those countries who showed up at the border without applying for the process were swiftly expelled. In other words, they targeted Venezuela initially, we know exactly why, and then added a few other countries, namely Cuba, Nicaragua, and Haiti, creating a legal asylum application process, and then those who didn't apply were expelled. In other words, normal border policy. Karine claims that Joe Biden, because of this policy, reduced illegal immigration from those specific countries by over 90%. Well, the real number is 84%. Enforcement encounters involving citizens of 4 countries targeted by the program had dropped from 91,000 to around 14,000 in March, a decline of 84% rather than the more than 90% that Karine Jean-Pierre is claiming. Not a big difference, but if you're going to be the White House press secretary, at least get the basic facts right. But even outside of getting the numbers wrong, Democrats have been parading this talking point as if it's such a major success. Oh, look how successful we've been at curbing illegal migration. Down to over 90%, she says. But here's the real number. The gray line, as you guys are going to see, is fiscal year 2023. It's currently on pace to be the worst in American history, literally. The first 3 months, all over 230,000 enforcement encounters. January, February, and March, of course, a slight decline, but still well above historic averages, and following the exact same trend from fiscal year 2022. Oh, and by the way, that orange line at the bottom and the start of the blue line, those numbers below 50K and the few blue ones in the 70Ks, yeah, that was the end of the Trump administration. Karine Jean-Pierre is trying to give Joe Biden credit candidate for only partially doing his job, and frankly discriminating against certain countries while not tackling the major root cause of the crisis to begin with. Oh, well, you know, we are enforcing the border, but we're mostly targeting Cubans and Venezuelans that for the most part vote Republican and are traveling to Ron DeSantis' state. You don't get to claim success on this issue. And again, most of the questions that Karine Jean-Pierre is receiving this week are related to the ending of Title 42. So let's really put it into perspective. 200,000 plus border crossings a month, and Title 42 hasn't even been removed yet. People are simply asking the White House, what are you guys going to do? Well, the Biden administration today, as I'm recording this video, released their announcement approving the sending of 1,500 U.S. troops to the border as Title 42 deadline looms. Yep, after 4 years of Donald Trump as a racist, if he would have done something like this, it would have been the biggest, most explosive news coverage and news stories. Donald Trump is literally Hitler, yada, yada, yada. Joe Biden does it, and most people don't even know it's happening. Don't even get me started on the public discussion. We're right back to far-left lunatic land.
If the president's priority is to treat the immigrants humanely, like you said, wouldn't he be sending social workers, psychologists, judges, lawyers to the border instead of sending active military personnel?
So look, I want to be clear, the active military, as I just explained to one of your colleagues here, it's been done for more than almost 2 decades now. It is a personnel that's performing administrative tasks and like data entry and warehouse support. That's what they're going to do.
I mean, you would think that these leftoids would learn a damn lesson. After defunding the police and wanting to replace police officers with social workers, we saw how that strategy played out. And here you go, here we are again, facing the biggest border catastrophe in modern American history, possibly in American history, outside of border conflicts and the various wars, the biggest immigration crisis, and most likely now with the removal of Title 42, it's possible we see a doubling of the crisis very easily. Experts are predicting possibly 4 to 5 million apprehensions a year moving forward. The public discussion is, well, why don't we send social workers? What's the plan here? Very simply, there is no plan. Here's Karine Jean-Pierre stumbling and fumbling all over herself when asked very simply, well, what's the plan?
The border is secure, as the administration has said. Then why would we need to send 1,500 active duty U.S. troops down there?
Because we need more work. We need more work needs to be done, Peter. We put forth a comprehensive immigration legislation, and Congress, Republicans in Congress refuse to act. And so the president has used the tools that he has in front of him to prepare ahead of Title 42 lifting. As you know, that is happening in the next couple of days. And so we are putting DHS, Department of State, is putting forth processes to deal with the changes that are going to be ahead of us.
And this right here is why we can't have nice things. These people are useless. These career politicians cannot solve basic problems. It is impossible to have just a common sense approach. Common sense is not popular with the far left, and so they simply can't do it. The only strategy that the Biden administration has is the strategy of we're not Trump, or it's Trump's fault.
That's the president's goal. The president understands that we need a system, an immigration system that needs to meet the moment, that's modernized. And one of the things that he's been very clear about, he wants to do this in a humane way and do it differently than it was done in the last administration.
Well, we're certainly doing it differently than the last administration. Yeah, you definitely are. That's why it's a crisis. Maybe, just maybe, you shouldn't view it as we're going to do it different than Donald Trump or we're going to appeal to these far-left lunatics. Maybe, just maybe, you should just do your damn job. Secure the border. It's not complicated. Countries have laws. Countries have borders. Laws should be followed. Laws should be enforced. Border laws should be followed, and border security and the border itself should be enforced. It's not complicated. The White House is talking a real big game right now. It's going to end in utter disaster. Just watch. That's what happens when you're just unserious about tackling real issues. That's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.